wealthy man stood trial for murder. The courtroom was silent, thick with tension. Everyone suspected his guilt, but fear kept their lips sealed. He wasn't just a rich figure. He was the town's crime boss, a man who thrived on intimidation. Without firm evidence, the judge prepared to release him. Then, at that very moment, the heavy doors swung open. A 3-year-old girl walked in, accompanied by a large German shepherd. She lifted her hand toward the accused and declared, "He is the killer." Few believed her until she leaned close to her dog and whispered, "I need you." What followed stunned the entire court. Before diving in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? I enjoy seeing the reach of these stories. The room's atmosphere felt suffocating. On one side sat the accused, a wealthy and powerful man whose grip on the town was unshakable. His name was spoken in whispers laced with dread. He wasn't merely wealthy. He was feared like an untouchable ruler. The case concerned the violent murder of a woman who once lived peacefully among them. Yet fear silenced witnesses. No one dared challenge him. His very presence weighed like a threat. The judge adjusted his glasses, the gavel close by. Lawyers glanced nervously, sensing how close the trial was to ending without justice. Weeks of hearings had produced nothing but delays, and the silence of witnesses was about to secure the accused's freedom. As the judge prepared to pronounce the verdict, the townspeople braced themselves. Without testimony, the accused would walk free, the victim's memory buried beneath intimidation and wealth. The air was so heavy with dread that even the faintest cough or shuffle of a chair seemed loud. It was the kind of silence that didn't just reflect fear. It created it, pressing down on everyone present. Some jurors avoided eye contact with the accused entirely, while others glanced nervously toward the exit, as though escape might be safer than judgment. The trial had become more than a legal proceeding. It was a battle between fear and truth. Just as the verdict was about to be spoken, the back doors creaked open. Every head turned. To everyone's shock, it wasn't a lawyer or an officer. It was a little girl, no more than 3 or 4, clutching a worn teddy bear. Walking beside her was a German shepherd, its steady stride echoing across the marble floor. Gasps filled the room. Whispers erupted. Why is a child here? Where are her parents? Why bring a dog into a trial? The girl advanced with quiet determination. Even the guards hesitated, unsure if they should intervene. Something about her focus kept them still. The judge leaned forward, studying her carefully. By the time she reached the front, silence reclaimed the court. The accused scowled. The girl held the stand's rail, lifted her chin, and spoke firmly. "I know he's the killer." The words hit like a hammer. For a moment, the courtroom froze. The judge's gavel halted mid-air, lawyers stared in disbelief, and the audience erupted in whispers. Could a child truly accuse the most feared man in town? The accused smirked, dismissing her. "This is absurd," he sneered. "A child knows nothing about murder." Some supporters laughed, but the judge cut them off sharply. "Quiet. This court will hear her." The girl tightened her grip on the stand, her teddy swaying in her hand. Her voice trembled but carried undeniable weight. "I saw him." She pointed directly at the accused. "I saw him kill the lady next door." The room gasped. The accused scoffed, but unease flickered across his face. Encouraged, the judge asked her to continue. She described what she saw, standing at her window late at night, witnessing the man enter with a knife, hearing a scream, then seeing him stab the woman. She even mimicked the stabbing motion, sending chills through the room. Some of the jurors instinctively leaned back, as though the child's words painted the murder before their eyes. Others leaned forward, compelled by her bravery, realizing they were watching history in the making. Never before had anyone dared point at the man, and yet here stood a child, doing it without hesitation. It was as though her innocence gave her a strength that no adult had managed to summon. The defense lawyer leapt up, calling her testimony fantasy, but the judge silenced him. The girl pressed on, her eyes wet, but her voice stronger. "She was kind to me. She gave me cookies. Now she's gone because of him." Silence blanketed the court. For the first time, the accused looked unsettled. Still, his lawyer and followers mocked her words as childish imagination. The accused demanded her removal. Tears welled in her eyes. Yet with sudden bravery, she turned to her dog and called out, "I need you." The German shepherd sprang into action. Its powerful bark echoed against the walls. The dog circled the accused, growling low and sharp. The man, once confident, stiffened, his voice cracking, as he shouted, "Control that dog!" But fear showed on his face. Then the dog darted out of the courtroom, leaving everyone stunned. Moments later, it returned, carrying a blood-stained knife. Dropping it in the center, the blade gleamed under. The lights. The same weapon the girl had described. Gasps erupted. Officers rushed to secure the knife. Forensic experts quickly confirmed the truth. The fingerprints belonged to the accused. The once powerful man paled, sweat dripping down his forehead. His lawyer stumbled over words, but no defense could stand. The judge slammed his gavel. "This man is guilty of murder. He is sentenced to death." The verdict spread through the courtroom like fire. Some clasped their hands together. In relief, others let out shaky sighs as if they had been holding their breath for weeks. It was more than justice for one crime. It was liberation from years of fear. The child's courage had broken a silence that money and power had built, and her dog's loyalty had exposed what evidence alone had failed to prove. Relief swept the room, whispers rising to applause. Justice, once thought impossible, had been restored. The little girl hugged her dog tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks, not of sorrow, but of victory. Townspeople rose, praising her courage and the loyalty of her companion. At that moment, her parents rushed in, faces filled with shock and pride. They embraced her, realizing she had done what no one else dared. Through the bravery of a child and her dog, fear had been broken, and justice had finally prevailed.